Welcome to Portsmouth Now. I'm your host, Rob Lauer. Kids are back in school, the weather will soon be getting cooler, and the days are getting shorter. But one thing stays the same. There are always lots of great activities and special events taking place all over Portsmouth. What's happening during September, October 2014? Well, we'll tell you about some of those events right here, right now, on this episode of Portsmouth Now. Welcome to Portsmouth Now, and our look at just a few of the many activities and special events taking place all over the city during September and October. The month of September kicks off in high gear with first weekend events in Old Town. On Friday evening, September 5th from 5 to 8 p.m., the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center hosts its free Concert in the Courtyard series. Come out and enjoy the music of Bobby Black Hat Walters, along with free food and drink and free admission to the museum itself. On Saturday, September 6th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., come out and shop or just browse at the Old Town Antiques to Flea Market in the Middle Street Garage at the corner of Middle and London Streets. Of course, the Old Town Farmers Market will also be open that morning, as it is most Saturday mornings throughout the year. Vendors will spread out around the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center, offering fresh, locally grown produce, fresh seafood and meat, baked goods, and much more. And adding to the fun and excitement of September's first weekend events will be the Old Town Merchants Fair. I'm joined by Towne Goodwin, who's the president of the Old Town Business Association. Thanks for joining us, Towne.
Thank you very much, Rob, for having me.
So, Old Town Merchant Fair?
Yes, actually.
What is that?
Well, we're taking an old concept that we had that would have been the 9th year this year, is the Labor Day sidewalk sale. Generally falls on the Saturday prior to Labor Day. And moving it to our first weekend events. We've been very successful in our first weekend events, happen 12 times out of the year, with the Art and Antiques Open House, or excuse me, not the Art and Antiques Open House, but the Antiques to Flea Market, which has been very successful for many years.
Yeah.
And adding to that, we are encouraging all of our businesses along High Street to participate by either retailers putting their wares out on the sidewalk, just like they would have done in the older days. Yeah. And our restaurants are going to be participating in a way, or participating restaurants will be offering early bird specials anywhere between 4 and 6 p.m. that evening.
Okay.
So we've added some new things to it, such as the museum stores of Hampton Roads. Museum gift shops from all over Hampton Roads are actually converging on the 1846 courthouse courtyard. Okay. At the same time, we have the farmers market going on from 10 a.m. until, or excuse me, from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. And then we're adding one extra little flair to the project, and that is a food truck rally on the corners of Crawford and High Street from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So what is the food truck rally?
Food truck rally is basically Old Town Business Association saying we want to raise the bar. We want to give an opportunity to the foodies of Hampton Roads to come to Old Town to enjoy what we feel like is quality food trucks. We're working directly with an association based out of Virginia Beach called Eat the Street 757 and associating with them to bring in a good crowd, a good mix to meet the goals of what we strive to do, and that is good business here in Old Town. So our motto is Shop, Dine, and Experience, Old Town Portsmouth. Well, we're giving you the best of all the worlds there. But in coordinating with the Antelos Pavilion as well, their Virginia Craft Beer and Wine Festival, which will go from 12 until 5 that day. So we feel like there's going to be a lot of activity up and down High Street, connecting all the dots and all of our merchants, but also our Antelos Pavilion and their events as well.
So you really, I mean, a person could come out 9 a.m. Saturday morning and stay through the night and always have something to do.
Find your treasures at the Antiques to Flea Market, go buy your veggies at the farmers market, pick up a couple of things at the museum shops and also our merchants along High Street, and then go have a little bit of lunch and then go drink a little beer and wine.
So what would you say to those Portsmouth residents? I know there are probably quite a few who actually have never been to Old Town on first weekends.
Well, I can say that you have a true treasure trove of different activities. And again, like I said, we harp on the fact that our 12 times out of the year, the first weekend of every month, is always something going on in Old Town. For old and young alike, at our museums and at our shops. but most importantly for our residents here in Portsmouth. And they can now bring their friends from all over Hampton Roads right to Old Town and experience what we have right here at our back door.
Invite out-of-town friends to sort of have a day vacation.
Exactly. In fact, it's actually a full weekend of events because, as you know, we start with the first weekend events, generally with concerts in the courtyard, and then go right into the next day. So there's always something to do downtown. And, they always say opportunity abounds in downtown.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us today and telling us more about it.
Thank you.
Come out first weekends, really. You haven't been to one. It's a lot of fun. During the month of September, if you're in the mood for fun special events, you don't have to wait for the weekends. For instance, if you head over to the Bayside Harley-Davidson on Thursday evening, September 11th, between 4 and 7 p.m., you can enjoy the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce's 2014 Wild Wing Fling. I'm joined by Sabrina Evans, who is the manager of Municipal Affairs, Portsmouth Division of the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce. Got it right. All right. Yeah. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you're going to tell us a little bit about the Wild Wing Fling.
Yes, the Wild Wing Fling is an exciting event. The Chamber is excited about this event this year. This year it's going to be hosted on 9/11. And with that, we are going to be supporting our victims and heroes who have contributed to 9/11. We will have on site the Remembrance Rescue Project. Firefighters who responded to 9/11 will be on site. So we're reaching out to the community to help the Hampton Roads Chamber help them and bring donations and support the cause on that day.
So would these be people who were on site that day in New York City?
Yes, these are firefighters. The Remembrance Rescue Project, they restored one of the fire trucks. These are firefighters who contributed out of their own pockets and restored a fire truck, and it travels. They do a tour with it during the month of September leading up to 9/11. We are trying to have that truck present at the event, but the firefighters will be there to support the cause and help us reach out to the community and just give some insight.
That's great.
Close-up interviews with them.
So what is the Wild Wing Fling itself? I mean,
the Wild Wing Fling, it's a wing competition. The Hampton Roads restaurants come in with their best wings and they compete, and they come heavily armed. This is the second annual event, and the competition can get pretty wild. We have stuffed wings, we have hottest wings, we have every type of wing you can imagine, and it's just really fun, and the community gets to be involved because they get to vote. We have a People's Choice Award, and right here in the city of Portsmouth, Mario's came out with that award last year, and we have a local celebrity judge panel that crowns the wing king or queen. So last year was pretty interesting. You get to eat a lot of wings, you get to enjoy the music, you get to have drinks, and it's just a whole lot of fun. We also have a lot of business exhibitors out there. So you get both the business to business and you get the community out there. You can be out there getting services and needs of any kind from our business exhibitors.
So you can sort of network too.
Yeah, you network, you eat, you drink, you just have a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, you cast your vote and, you select who you think is the wing king or queen.
Well, that sounds like a great activity in the middle of the week. I mean,
yes. It was well attended. Last year was our first year. We had over 800 people attend.
Wow.
So this year we're expecting even more because we are supporting the Rescue Remembrance Project.
Okay, now where is the event held this year?
The event is going to be held at the Bayside Harley-Davidson.
Out on Frederick Boulevard?
On Frederick Boulevard, 211 Frederick Boulevard, Bayside Harley-Davidson, and it's going to be between the hours of 4 and 7 p.m. And just come on down. If you are a chamber member, a business, and interested in a tabletop exhibitor, it's only $150. We also welcome prospects, non-members, and they can have a business table out there for $300. But it's open to the public at just a $10 admission.
Come in
and that's
eat.
all the wings you can eat, plus it includes a drink ticket, so you come in, enjoy the music, and have a good time.
Well, that sounds great. Now, if people wanted more information, is there a website to go to or a number to call?
Absolutely. If you are interested, you can register right online at the Hampton Roads Chamber.com, or you can give me a call. My number is 757-664-2507, and also my email address sevans@hrccva.com.
Do you need tickets in advance, or can you just show up and pay?
You don't need tickets in advance. If you do not register online, feel free to come in. We will have someone at the gate, and we take admissions at the door. Absolutely.
It sounds like a great event.
I'm very excited about this year. We think that we're going to be looking to grow more and more each year. So this year is very special because it's on 9/11. So we're really looking forward to having a fantastic event.
Well, thanks for coming here and telling us all about it. We'll be back in just a minute with more info on fun-filled special events coming to Portsmouth this September and October. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Portsmouth Now. On today's show, we're looking at some of the special events and activities taking place in Portsmouth during September and October. Regardless of the month or season, Hoffler Wildlife Preserve in the Churchland area is a beautiful place to visit. You can stroll around the creek, hike through the woods, or birdwatch on your own, or you can take part in the activities and special events that take place at the preserve throughout the year. I'm joined by Helen Coombs from Hoffler Creek. Welcome back, Helen.
Thanks, Rob. It's great to be back.
Good to have you here. So we have lots of things coming up this autumn at Hoffler Creek.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
Okay.
Well, you know, Hoffler Creek, the fall is one of the prettiest times to be out there because the leaves start to turn and the weather starts to cool and everything is great. Just for a walk around the lake is beautiful, but we have a lot of stuff coming up. On September 6th, one of our most popular programs is coming back, and that's all about snakes. It's put on by J.B. Rattles.
Now, is that popular with everybody or just snake lovers?
You know, it is popular with snake lovers and reptile lovers, but also people who aren't so sure about snakes really do like to come out because it's a safe way to come and learn about something they may not know a lot about.
Do they interact with the snakes?
Well, he does have a few that you may be able to touch later on, but first he just likes to, you know, talk to you about them, explain why they're really good for the environment. They take care of a lot of things that we find very undesirable, like rats and mice and things like that. I always told people, if you have a snake in your yard, the snake is the least of your worries. So if you have snakes, then you don't have other problems. So that program will be September 6th at 10 o'clock in the morning, and there's a small charge for that, but you can find out about that on our website.
Okay.
And then throughout the fall, we'll continue September, October, and November. The second Saturday, we always have a bird walk. We call it the early bird walk because it starts at 8 a.m., which is actually before our gates open. And Clark White, who's been a long-time avid birder and a volunteer with us, leads those walks, and you never know what you're going to see. You could see eagles, you could see migratory birds. We are a favorite stopover point for migratory birds, so they may be going north, they may be coming south, but whatever they're doing, they're stopping at Hoffler Creek first. Right. So that's all September, October, and November, the second Saturday. October 12th, our good friends at Mario's Restaurant on Airline Boulevard are hosting a benefit fish fry, and the proceeds will benefit Hoffler Creek Wildlife Foundation. and help us. So we're really very grateful for that. And then October 25th, we start getting into the spooky time. So on the 25th, which is a Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning, we have our Bats of the World program coming in. That's led by Denise Tomlinson, and she is with Bat World Hampton Roads, an organization that's actually fairly new to the area, but Bat World is sort of United States. It's all over the United States, different region. She actually brings live bats, and most of them, of course, she won't actually take out of their holders because bats do fly, and we're outside. But you get to see a wide range of bats. She talks about the bats that we find right here in Tidewater, which is, there's always a lot of information that people really don't know a lot about bats. I didn't, and I've learned a lot from her. It's a really neat program, and it really makes you start looking at bats at a whole new way. And then the next day, October 26th, which is Sunday afternoon from 1 until 4, we have our Fall Festival, which is actually a safe trick-or-treating event. So we invite all the little ones to come out. You can learn about some of those spooky animals that you might find at Hoffler Creek, like snakes and foxes and owls and all those things that we kind of equate with the Halloween time of year. But find out really, they're really cool animals, and they're really not spooky at all. They're really just kind of neat. And so we'll have candy, and we'll have games and educational information and all sorts of, so that's always fun. We had a great time last year. We had princesses, and we had...
So they come in costume.
Oh, they come in costume. We just ask that they don't wear masks, but they can come. We even encourage the adults to come in costume. Okay. I came in costume last year, so. And then... our last big thing that we have going on is actually in November, and that's November 16th. We have a big fundraiser going on at Hoffler Creek Wildlife Preserve, and that will be our first barbecue beneath the pines event. Oh. And so that'll be a ticketed event. It'll happen on a Sunday. We won't open to the public that Sunday. It'll pretty much all that day will be dedicated to the barbecue beneath the pines, but we're going to have live music. We're really happy that we're going to have our local favorite Don Comer and Amy Farabee playing music for us, and then we're going to have good barbecue, chicken, all those great things that you want at a sort of a pig picking type event.
So if people wanted more information about any of the events or the fundraisers, the ones at Mario's, the one in November,
right.
What do they do? Who do they call?
Well, they could call us at 757-686-8684. That's the Preserve office, or you can visit our website, which is just hofflercreek.org.
Autumn is a great time to head outside and enjoy nature, but it's also the perfect time to settle down inside and enjoy a great book. The Portsmouth Public Libraries are, of course, filled with thousands of great books, but nowadays the libraries offer so much more than just that. I'm joined by Angela Jones from the Churchland branch of the Portsmouth City Libraries. Thanks for joining us, Angela, and I understand that there are lots of things that go on at the library throughout the year on a continuous basis.
Yes, we have lots of ongoing programs.
Okay, so it's more than places to go get a good book.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so tell us about some of the things you have going on.
Well, we always have story times. And for our preschool age, and most are on Thursdays, and they're going to be from 10:30 to our 11 o'clock at all 4 of our branches.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then for more children things, we have an ongoing Lego club at Maine, and we also have, at Churchland, we're starting a pajama time. It's a story evening time.
And in the evenings?
Yeah, in the evenings at 6 o'clock, and the children come in their pajamas, and it's going to be the 4th Tuesday of every month at Churchland.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, yeah.
Good way to get kids ready for bed early, too. There are other things like there are writers groups and things like that.
Yep, we do have a writers group, and they meet. Let's see, and it's at our Churchland Branch Library on High Street, and that is the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month at 5:30.
Okay, is that open to anyone?
It's open to anyone, and they encourage you to either bring a piece to talk about, and they have open critiques of all the other members' pieces too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, very friendly critiques. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what other things you have there? Something with veteran services or something? What's that all about?
We have a representative who comes from the Veteran Services at the Portsmouth Naval Hospital who comes to Churchland and meets with anybody who needs our help. And it's the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And then there are things like movie nights and things like that.
We have lots of movies.
Lots of movies.
We have teen movies that are going to be at Churchland in Maine, and we have a classic movie Monday our classic movie matinee that's going to be at Main and Churchland.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, that's starting in September.
Okay, great. So if people want more information on these programs and anything else that's going on at the library, what do they do? What do they call?
The best place is our website, and that's portsmouthpubliclibrary.org. And we have a calendar up there with all of our events.
Oh.
Or you can call any of the 4 libraries.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us today and telling us all about it.
Thank you.
Take advantage of the libraries. There's about more than just checking out books these days. During September and October, the Intellos Wireless Pavilion in Portsmouth will continue to offer some great concerts. One of the most enduring bands in music history, Chicago, will be performing at the pavilion on Friday night, September 26 at 8 p.m. And heavy metal fans won't want to miss Judas Priest and Steel Panther, who will be playing the pavilion on Saturday, October 25th at 7:30. For more information and tickets to either of these great concerts, visit www.pavilionconcerts.com. When we return to Portsmouth Now, we'll look at some of the fun-filled Halloween events taking place across the city this October. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Portsmouth Now. This year, the U.S. Coast Guard celebrates its 224th anniversary. Since Portsmouth is one of the nation's official Coast Guard cities, the annual Coast Guard Day is always a big celebration. This year, Coast Guard Day takes place on the first weekend of October, on Saturday, October 4th. To learn more about what's being planned for this year's event, I recently spoke with Valora Baskerville, the Portsmouth Department of Parks, Recreations, and Leisure Services. Valora, thanks for joining us again today. So we're here to tell us about the Coast Guard Day activity.
Yes.
Now, what exactly is Coast Guard Day?
Well, Coast Guard Day, you know we are a Coast Guard city. Portsmouth is a Coast Guard city, so we are planning a great day to honor the Coast Guard.
And now, usually in the past, this has been held like at different locations, I think over at the Intellos, but this year it's being held at?
Portside.
Okay, and so that's why you're here, because you're the Portside lady.
Yes.
So what types of things are going on at Portside that day?
We're going to have wonderful things just to honor the Coast Guard and their families. Music all day. We're going to have children's activities, face painting, bounce houses, and other activities for the children. And we'll also have vendors will be there. We'll have the Coast Guard out there recruiting. So if you want to join the Coast Guard, it'll be a great day to come out and meet some of the Coast Guard family. And there's going to be other vendors there. There's going to be the MWR will be there. And just all types of things. We have the Coast Guard mascot, which is a little boat that the children can interact with. So it's going to be a great day just to come out and have a great time. And it's not just for the Coast Guard. We want all of Portsmouth to come out and enjoy this day and to honor the Coast Guard.
Well, I was surprised until last year doing some publicity for this, how many Coast Guard members actually live in Portsmouth.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of them are here.
Yes.
So now, is this event an all-day thing, morning, afternoon, or just afternoon?
12 noon to 5 p.m. at Portside, October the 4th.
All right. So come out to Coast Guard Day, and thank you for joining us, telling us all about it.
Thank you.
In recent decades, Americans have made Halloween the second most popular holiday after Christmas. This October in Portsmouth, you'll find plenty of ghostly fun. On Saturday, October 11th, ghosts and goblins will be taking to the streets of Port Norfolk. That's because the third annual Booyah 5K and Little Monsters Fun Run kicks off at 9 a.m. Come run in your favorite, most creative costume and support the food banks of southeastern Virginia. For more information and to register for the run, visit www.booyah5k.com. The annual Old Town Ghost Walk takes place on Friday night, October 24th, from 7 to 10:30 p.m. Guides take spectators on a walk past the haunted houses and mansions of Old Town. At each house on the tour, costume actors recall legends of ghostly visitations and things that go bump in the night. For ticket information, call 757-525-0318. One of the major annual events of the Halloween season here in Portsmouth is Museum Madness, sponsored by the City of Portsmouth Museums. I'm joined by Corey Staten, who is one of the museum educators at the Portsmouth City Museums. Thanks for joining us again, Corey.
Thanks, Rob. I'm glad to be here.
Good to have you here. Now, I understand that there are a number of activities, Halloween themed, that are being sponsored by the museums this year, starting with special events that are going to be taking place on a few Friday nights in October.
Yeah, we once again, we're going to be bringing back a very fabulous theater ensemble called the Core Theater Ensemble. They're going to be doing our Friday Night Frights theme again. So on October the 10th and the 7th each night, the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center will be open for extended hours, kind of like they do for the first Fridays. But this time it'll actually be a theatrical event. The first one will be an evening with Edgar Allan Poe, where they'll do performative poetry of popular Poe pieces like The Raven, Telltale Heart. And the second one is called 40 Wax. It's the Lizzie Borden story, so it's going to be it's going to be kind of gory, So so warning to the parents: this is going to be PG-13 and above, and there is a ticket price of $5 for the event. You can get tickets in advance, and they're good. They're great. They have won a lot of awards. They travel internationally. It's well worth the ticket, and the Edgar Allan Poe piece actually speaks to middle school SOL standards. So it's a great show, great performers. I think the public will appreciate having some good quality theater.
Get entertained, spooked a little bit, and learn something.
Exactly.
And now the big event that the museum sponsor every year is Museum Madness.
Yeah, Museum Madness is the overall theme for the Halloween activities this year, every year. But this year we're going to have a lot going on. There is always the great pumpkin carving and lighting over the course of the Museum Madness weekend. The Fright Ship, which we take the lightship Portsmouth and turn it into a semi-haunted house, and it's been gotten a lot of rave reviews from local visitors and who come to see it when it's all decked out in this spooky regalia on the inside.
Are they having the pirates there again this year as part of that?
They're gonna have actors in there that are gonna be doing some spooky, scary boo, give you that boo factor that you want. So you'll have that. Just don't run, because there's not a lot of room to run inside the lightship. But then at the Children's Museum, we have our standard activities for which is the 25th. And Saturday the 25th, we'll have, starting from 12 to 6, there'll be a lot of activities. Harold Wood, great magician, I've known him for a couple of years now, fantastic, and he calls himself a senior citizen, but he still rides a unicycle and juggles bowling pins like he's 12 years old, and so he's great. There's going to be Bat World of Hampton Road, so there'll actually be live bats coming into the museum. They won't be flying around, but they will be there. And we'll have crafts, balloon creatures. We'll have all sorts of activities going on for the Museum Madness weekend. And don't forget that at 6 o'clock, that starts the safe trick-or-treating for that night. So that means that the people will come do the costume parade. More than likely, they'll do that down High Street. And they'll also be doing be able to shop and do trick-or-treating at some of the Old Town Business Association businesses.
What about the pumpkin carving? I understand this year it's still in the planning stages, but it's going to be like a competition with the city of Norfolk on who can carve the most jack-o'-lanterns and put it around the courthouse? Right,
they're going to compete with the city across the river, and and you see who's got it going on. It's going to be Naughty by Norfolk or P-Town is going to carve the most pumpkins, and then they'll light those at dusk each night on the weekend of Museum Madness.
Wow.
So hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed, that Portsmouth will come through. So if you're a pumpkin carver, get your knives out, get your kit out and carve a pumpkin so that we can, have some great competition, in the spirit of competition, and help, Portsmouth maintain its title. So that's what we're looking to do.
Well, thanks for joining us, Corey. It sounds like a lot of fun. Looking ahead past Halloween, there's one special event in November that we'll hope you put on your calendars now. That's the second annual Jazz Legacy Foundation Fundraising Gala on Friday, November 14th and Saturday, November 15th at the Renaissance Portsmouth Waterfront Hotel. I'm joined by Alvin Keels, who is the CEO and founder of the Jazz Legacy Foundation. And you have your big gala coming up in mid-November, isn't that correct?
That's correct. It's on November the 14th and 15th at the elegant Renaissance Waterside Hotel.
Can you be having international and national jazz artists coming in and performing?
Yes, we will. We'll have the likes of Will Downing. We'll have Pieces of a Dream, Rochelle Farrell, Kim Waters, Phil Perry, and Karen Briggs, and Patrice Russian.
Okay, and the foundation itself, all this money goes to furthering jazz and music education?
That's correct.
Okay, so if people want information, where should they go?
They could go to our website at jazzlegacyfoundation.org, or they can call us at 757-737-2416.
All right, thanks so much for telling us about it.
Thank you.
That's our show for the day. The special events that we just looked at are just a few of the dozens of events taking place every month of the year throughout Portsmouth. To find out about any of them, just log on to www.portsvaevents.com. Check the site out. You'll be surprised at what's happening in the city. And then come to Portsmouth, where if you give us a day, we'll give you a vacation. I'm Rob Lauer. Join me next time for another episode of Portsmouth Now.